This is a mock interview conducted by ForumIAS Academy at New Delhi. The interview panel includes eminent academicians, retired bureaucrats, and other luminaries. The objective of the program is to acquaint the candidate with the format and expectations of the personality test conducted by UPSC.
Please, may I come in, sir?
Please come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Take a seat.
Yes.
Khushhali Solanki
Yes, sir.
from Bikaner of Rajasthan. Option was public administration. It's done civil engineering from Surat and badminton, sports, hobbies, extracurricular activity, exploring the grievances of people residing in rural areas. So first tell me what are the grievances you have explored in rural areas till now? Some of them.
Yes, sir. So, first was the social grievance, like the issue of illiteracy, child marriage, crimes against women are very much pronounced. Secondly, there was economic grievance, like in the issue of agriculture, the mandi farmers are not able to reach, or they have lack of awareness around nano urea, so they are not using. That's why the yield is very low. And similarly, in animal husbandry, there are issues like diseases that the cattle has to face. So this was the economic issue. Third, regarding the education and health. In education, although there are Anganwadis and schools being made, but teachers remain absent. And people, usually the young girls, are employed in mining or agriculture rather than studying there. So these are the issues.
So you visit the rural areas to
Yes,
find
sir.
out the grievances.
Yes, sir.
What do you do after collecting grievances?
Sir, I try to form a group of the ASHA worker and the Anganwadi worker along with some girls, and then we raise awareness regarding girls' education or tell them about what is the importance of schooling. So this is what I do. And secondly, if people are not aware regarding some schemes, I tell them about it, like Ujjwala 2.0, I told them about this. And thirdly, sir, in case of health education, I tell them about the menstrual health, the importance of sanitary napkins. This is what I do, sir.
Okay. You don't raise any of the problems at higher levels.
Sir, I do talk with the Gram Sevak and the Sarpanch, and once I also interacted with the SDM and told them about the issues, but the main problem was that people, once they are aware, they would be able to raise it themselves. So I have told them the helpline number, which is 181 in Bikaner. They are now able to raise their issues by themselves, sir.
Okay. Your option was public administration.
Yes, sir.
What is the job of a district magistrate?
So the job of district magistrate includes the magisterial functions, the revenue functions, and developmental issues in which he or she has to collaborate with the Jilla Parishad, the panchayats at the ground level, and as a coordinator, taking report of every other department which is working in the district, and also has a role to play in elections or disaster management. It's a wholesome job, sir.
Okay. And what is the job of a SP?
So mainly it is related with the police and maintenance of the law and order in the district.
What do you mean by police?
So the policing functions would involve investigations and prevention of crimes.
Okay. Police as such is not a job. Okay. What is the highest level an IAS officer reaches in government?
So at the central level it is cabinet secretary, and at the state level the chief secretary.
What is the work of a cabinet secretary?
So the work of cabinet secretary involves coordinating with all other departmental secretaries and even conducting meetings of the chief secretaries. So this is the main work, sir, and then ironing out the differences if they arise improving coordination.
What does he do when there is a union cabinet meeting?
So he or she is the one responsible for preparation of papers and deciding the agenda in collaboration with the political representatives and communicating the result as a whole towards the bottom hierarchy.
Okay. Rajasthan. Do you know what is vicious circle of poverty?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
So, in the vicious circle of poverty, if a person is poor, they do not have money to spend further on education or health purposes. So, due to this, their investment remains low, and due to which the cycle gets penetrated into their children, which also are not able to afford good quality healthcare or jobs, and this continues to repeat itself.
And have you heard of takeoff into self-sustained growth?
Sir, I'm not very much sure.
Once a state or a country reaches a certain level of economic growth activities, it does not need much of a support, it takes off on its own. That is what is taught in economics. Now, where will you place Rajasthan into? A vicious circle of poverty or take off into self-sustained growth? And why?
Sir, initially Rajasthan was one of the Bimaru states, so we were in the vicious circle of poverty. However, now we have shed the tag, and I won't say that we are self-sustained, but we are somewhere in the middle of it, sir. We are growing, the GSDP is growing, and the per capita income is also growing. The standard of living is getting improved in Rajasthan. So, we are progressing, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so you are from Bikaner.
Yes, sir.
What is its other name?
So, initially it was called as Jangla Desh.
Jungle Desh. At what time of the history it was known as Jungle Desh?
So, around 16th century when it was found.
Even in Mahabharata also, during Mahabharata time also, it was a Jungle Desh. Jungle Desh. Jungle means forest or something. But it is total deserts. How it is Jungle Desh then?
So, initially it is said that there was a Saraswati or a Ghaggar river which was flowing through the region, and with climate change or with tectonic plate shifting, it got converted into a desert event.
Yes, that is true. Now it is a Thar deserts, almost. And the deserts, how to reclaim those deserts?
So, in order to reclaim it, first we need to stop the desertification which is going on. For that, we need to plant the shelter belts. Secondly, we need to rectify our agriculture.
How to plant shelter beds? Trees cannot be grown on the sand.
Yes, sir. So, for shelter belts, we are doing a checkerboard format, planting savan grass, which is.
It is first the planting of grasses, so that the land should not move, the sand should not move. Then
So, secondly, improving the agricultural practices in the area, due to which the sand is getting saline day by day due to the faulty practices. So, that needs to be improved.
how to?
Sir, it can include better irrigation quality, not using the flood irrigation but the drip irrigation methods. This can be one. And secondly, the type of plants which are to be used. For example, we are very good with millets, but still focusing on wheat or rice, which is water.
So they should be avoided. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the state bird of Rajasthan?
So, it is locally known as Godawan or Great Indian Bustard.
How can it reclaim Thar deserts?
Sir, Godawan actually feeds on the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐻 trees. So, the 𝐏𝐶𝐷 trees are very good in holding the sand together. So, this can be one of the methods. And
Where does it live?
sir, in Jaisalmer.
No. Everything I am asking about you from about the Jaisalmer. So now where it does not live on the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐻 tree. Where does it live?
It nests on ground.
In the nests on the grounds, and that is on the grasslands. It cannot stand on the sand, right? So what we have to do? For for how, that is what I am saying, how Great Indian Bustard can reclaim the Thar deserts. So, we have to create the grasslands first for the Great Indian Bustard. Once, that is why the word is there as a state word. What is the other name of the Bikaner is?
So jungle day.
No, that is one, another name. Camel country. Why it is called as a camel country?
So because of the presence of the dromedary camels which are there, also known as the ship of the desert.
Yes, it is a ship or transporter of the deserts. That is why it is called as, and it is the only place, right? So, how this Bikaner name is there?
So due to 𝐴𝐵𝐸𝐾 who was the founder.
Founder, when?
So around 15th century.
16th century.
16th century.
Okay, not Tukkabaji. Okay, and why? What is the Arangilo, Rajasthan? What is the color of this particular place, Bikaner or?
So mostly it is red city.
Red city. Red city. Yes. Why it is called red city?
So due to the red sandstone which is found and the buildings are made.
It is because in the 18th century the buildings were made of red sandstones. Right. Okay. And now 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢 you have named. What is the role of 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢 for reclaiming the deserts?
So the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢 tree, it serves as a livelihood opportunity for the people over there because it has care sangri which is
right.
And secondly its roots, they hold on to the soil and they require very less moisture. So it is able to grow in that area and thereby preventing any kind of
how can the 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢 tree can grow in deserts? There is no water.
Sir, it is adapted in such.
It is adapted and it's you have already said the deep root system, and if you dug up the sand dunes, after say 25-30 centimeters, there is again the moisture into the soil. Okay. And there, what is the animal of the Rajasthan, state animal of Rajasthan?
So chinkara.
Chinkara. Why it is made?
So the reason I am.
Again it is in the mostly found in that area only, and for chinkara we have to create the habitat, and 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐥𝐢 and sand, these grasslands, they are the best. So for Great Indian Bustard and for chinkara we have to create the habitat, and for that habitat, creating habitat, we are to restore the deserts. So everything is related, that is why you have to go through. Okay. There is temple, famous temple in that area. What is that?
So Karni Mata temple.
Karni Mata temple. What is its other name?
So rat temple.
Why it is rat temple?
So it has around 20 to 25,000 rats in its premises. That's why it is called rat temple.
No, but why rat? They are not good.
Sir, they are considered auspicious because the Karni Mata as a deity, it was considered that these rats are actually her sons and her the relatives of the Charan community. And once her son drowned and she prayed to Lord Yam to prevent the death, and that's why the Lord Yam gave the blessing that all the people would be born as rats.
We accept such in the normal scientific era.
Sir, it depends upon people to people faith because it's concerned with faith. So people have their own version.
Okay, and the last question, Thar deserts. What is the role of Thar deserts for the monsoons?
Sir, the Thar desert actually suppresses the monsoon because there are no trees. So the winds, they are flown away over and above the Thar desert. They are not stopped by any kind of barrier. And similarly, there is no transpiration process which is taking place.
What is this transpiration? What is this?
So transpiration means evaporation from the soil as well as the parts of the tree, from its leaves and all. So the process.
Again, no, transpiration is a water loss from a tree only. Otherwise, other is evaporation. So it is the answer for you is Thar deserts because of very high temperature, low pressure belts. So the air masses from Arabian Sea or from the Bay of Bengal, they are being attracted toward the third edges, and then they have the range in the middle, and once they reach up to third edge, by that time either they are dry or they are leeward side of the this Aravalli.
Yes.
Khushhali,
Yes.
so tell me something about your district.
Ma'am, Bikaner district consists of Junagadh. Bikaner district consists of the Junagadh fort, and it is famous for the temple of rats, as I just mentioned. Apart from that, we have very good area for improvement area for renewable energy, the solar energy which is growing in our district. And but there are some issues as well. For example, the social issues like child marriage, it is there.
Okay, and so you've mentioned renewable energy. Bikaner is also known for its non-renewable energy sources.
Yes, ma'am.
Which are?
It is from the lignite thermal power plant which is located in Bikaner.
Okay. Now, can you tell me, there is a debate between generalists and specialists. So, when you join civil service, you would be a generalist. But there is also a debate which says that this should be probably be a position reserved for specialists. What is your opinion between these two?
Ma'am, I feel that we are definitely advancing into an era where specialization is needed. But the specialists tend to have a narrow view of any subject, whereas the generalist who have worked in so many departments all through the life knows how to make some kind of a policy. Because specialist would be one area in policy, however, there are many more areas like finance, like implication that can be considered by generalists.
Okay. Now, why do you want to join civil service?
Ma'am, because I want to become my person for the people. My person is one who can generate trust in the eyes of people, that she is there to solve my problems. I want to generate that.
Okay. And so now you have mentioned as your hobby exploring the grievances of people. So you understand the grievances of people, especially in Rajasthan. And you've also mentioned problem of child marriage. So when you get selected, let us say you become the DM, what measures will you take in your district to empower the women?
Ma'am, first I will conduct a ground survey, which are the hotspot areas where child marriage is most prominent. And second, which are the days on which it is conducted. It is Akshaya Tritiya in Rajasthan. So the administration would be on high alert on that special day. And third, as per the Child Marriage Prohibition Act, we have special prohibition officers. So I would make sure that they are doing their duty and would take coordinative steps along with them in participation.
Okay.
And I will also involve the civil society.
So this is for child marriage. Any other issue that you would try to deal first and foremost?
Ma'am, it would be the crime against women and how the police system can be improved.
Okay. Any 3 reforms which you would suggest for reforming the police system?
Yes, ma'am. First is regarding the training in police. We need more sensitization of the issues regarding women and children or elderly. Secondly, I would like to suggest community policing to be there at a greater level. And third is the technological reforms in police.
Can you tell me what is meant by artificial intelligence and machine learning?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it is a broad field in computer sciences whereby the machine, it imitates the intelligence of a human brain and then tries to generate the output based on the data sets which we are placing into it.
What are the limitations of this AI?
Ma'am, there are many limitations, like it can be biased regarding what type of data is fed into it. And second can be issue regarding privacy. And third, regarding the cyber security challenges.
Okay. Now, one last question to you. So, you've played a lot of badminton. So, I see silver medal college badminton tournament, runners up in district level school badminton tournament. But when it comes to competitive sports, India has not really been present on the global badminton scene. Why and what can we do differently?
Ma'am, there are many issues like the academies for badminton. They are mostly located in the southern areas like Hyderabad and Bangalore. And secondly, the people who play, mostly the athletes and the players, they come from the lower middle background. So they have the issue of malnutrition, and nutrition needs to be perfect for one to be a good player. So this is one. And thirdly, the presence of role models. In women we have like PV Sindhu and Saina Nehwal, but we need more of them to penetrate this issue, this culture of badminton in this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Khushhali, the meaning of your name is happiness, right? Yes. All right. What is the status of India in happiness index? And first tell me what is happiness index?
So the happiness index is based upon certain parameters like the per capita income in a country and the governance structure or the issues of corruption, the reachability of the health education systems in a country. They all combine to form the happiness index.
What is the status of India in happiness index? Who releases it?
Sir, I am not able to recall.
Okay. What is the India's position in happiness index?
Sir, it is around 135 to 140.
And which country is at highest place?
So Finland.
And why is it so that Scandinavian countries are often, having good performance in all the indices in comparison to the developing country or even developed country also? Why is it so?
Sir, they have already grown through the cycle of developing versus the developed stage. So once they have reached the developed stage, they have the higher per capita income and diversification of their economic wealth. And they also have good government support since the population is very less. So government is able to handhold everyone. And there are also, they are very much focused regarding the environmental issues. So environment and development, it is going hand in hand in those countries.
Okay. And if I'll say that you have to devise an index, okay, which will cater to economic development rather than economic growth, then what steps would you take to design this index? And name anything to that index particular. Name Khushhali index, whatever it is. Okay, then what would be the criteria to form such an index?
So for such kind of index, I would see how the growth is distributed in the society, whether the inequality is reducing or not. And for that, I would see whether everyone has respectable level of employment opportunity placed at their doorsteps. Secondly, whether the governance system is good, whether the delivery of services is there and people are able to complain about it if it's not present. Third can be the general perception about the government, the political culture among the people. It should be based on cognitions. So this is where, and fourth would be the basic facilities like housing, education, health, whether people are receiving all of it or not.
Okay, so leave Khushhali index. Is there any index existing right now which is having such kind of features? Do you remember any index?
Sir, one is multidimensional poverty index. It has some of the features regarding this.
Okay, so any index is there which is catering to overall development of the citizens in world or India?
So the Human Development Index.
Okay. Apart from this index, there is a happiness curriculum you might have heard. What is this happiness curriculum?
So it is being implemented in the Delhi government schools. In the happiness curriculum, the children are taught about the life skills, how they have to deal with other people or their group formation. And secondly, reducing the burden of the textbooks and the examination. This is made very child friendly and teacher friendly environment is created.
Okay. So suppose you have to deal with the quota suicides, yes, then what steps would you take as an administrator of quota?
So firstly, I would like to implement the act which is being placed in Rajasthan for the prevention of the misleading advertisements by the coaching institutes. And secondly, I would like to intervene at the very first stage where children are deciding to join the career in engineering or medical profession, because they have very limited awareness about the career. So at that very point, I need to have career counseling sessions for children. And thirdly, I would like to have a system of giving financial aid whereby it's not very much burden for the parents, because the parental aspirations, it pushes the child more towards the distress. So at this stage also I would like to intervene.
Okay, so recently you have mentioned about law and order. Okay, and there is a similar word, public order. What is the difference between these two?
Sorry sir, I don't know the exact difference.
Okay, thank you.
Khushhali, you are doing quite well.
Thank you sir.
You have good knowledge base. You are able to communicate properly. Your interview is on 20th March.
Yes sir.
You still have time to prepare. How do you feel you have done in this interview today?
Sir, I felt very comfortable in answering the questions, and where I didn't know the answer, I had the confidence of saying that I didn't know rather than attempting a wrong answer.
You think you did well?
So well, on some aspects regarding I had confidence, but definitely there are places where I need to improve and get some crisp answers.
We are very confident that you will do well in the interview. Will you read any newspapers? Yes. Which ones?
So Indian Express, Hindu and Economic Times.
Economic Times. Have you been reading Economic Times?
Yes sir.
I think you have advised us. We don't need to advise you.